Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see anything on this show, hit us in the comments below or drop them in the DMs. Holler at us, we holler back. I can't wait to unpack this week. It's been a huge week, and we're broadcasting live from Los Angeles at 7:02 p.m. Whew. Glad to be back. Glad football's back. But without further ado, let me introduce my co-host, our own sports almanac here at Blow the Whistle Sports, Mr. Steven Rubain. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm feeling okay. 9/11/2024 is always kind of a solemn day for me. So excited about the football, but then, just let me ask you, where were you 9/11/2001? What do you remember about that morning?
It was crazy that morning. I was actually out at the casino, and it was at 9:10, then 9/11 that morning. And I remember, wow, it's an iconic day.
Yeah.
I remember coming home and watching and turning the TV on because I about to take a shower and relax,
Right.
so I could pass out because I've been up all night.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at TV, and I thought it was some like science fiction thriller or some new movie about to come out. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Then I got quiet because the news was real.
Right. I know.
And it felt like anything could happen at that time. At any moment, like something was just going to happen. Like I was wondering, was a dirty bomb going to blow off? That all the stuff you watch the movies about. And I'm like,
right.
It's really happening to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
You get scared, and then you get mad,
Right.
and then you want to do something, and you just don't know what to do.
Yeah, I was driving to work that morning. I remember I was listening to a shock jock. I won't mention any names, but does comedy, and so I thought at first it was just a comedic joke, and so I'm sitting here thinking, okay, no big deal. That's kind of a sick joke, and then as it came on more and more, and they're trying to say, no, this is real. This is really happening, because you listen to it in real time. Then my first thought is, my sister worked in New York, and so I wanted to call, make sure she was okay. Just a lot of emotions was going, and so it was just really trying. But yet I'm still having to go to work that day because I'm already on the way. So that was a real tough day to work with the kids. But
I thought that something was going to happen in L.A.
Right.
It would be directly at us, like something at LAX or something.
Right. But that was my concern because it had been happening in D.C. Then, my parents at the time were living in the D.C. area. So
wow,
I'm thinking, hope they're okay. So I'm trying to call my sister, trying to call my mom, dad. I was just a horrible, horrible morning. But
shout out to the family back there in Carolina.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about them in a few minutes because she gave us a little Carolina tidbit to get to, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
Well, my people want to hear about that. Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. Holler at your boy.
Absolutely. So, it's kind of a tough time to be a Cali Cat Pack fan after that game, but we'll get to that. We're
gonna unpack that in a minute.
We'll unpack that in a minute. But yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all those who lost someone in 9/11. Shout out to all those who were the firefighters, the first responders, people who went in there, ran into the situation when everybody was trying to run out. Just so many lives wasted that were taken away from us. That
much love and much respect to those first responders, man.
We'll never forget. But the NFL was the one that kind of brought us back, because you remember, like, the whole world felt like it was coming to an end. They had all the airlines shut down. Nobody knew what was going to happen next, and the NFL went ahead and said, we're going to play. We're going to get back there. We're going to make this happen. So when the NFL came back, then things kind of calmed down a little bit. It was
brought reality to a normal, and brought us to something that we all like to watch. It wasn't an afterthought, but we still were thinking about it. But it made us calm down to the point where we can get back to life.
Absolutely, and that's the key. We were able to get back to having something that we can feel comfortable in. It's a comfort. And so, speaking of that, so then first week of the football season, you want to go into that first? Or you want to go into college first?
Let's go into college, man. Let's
get college out the way,
because we got a lot of NFL to go over.
So the big news in college football is, as we mentioned last week, there's an NFL playoff system now 12-team system. So teams are jockeying now. They want to get that one of those first 4 spots so they can get a bye that first week. And then
Which teams?
So right now, based on the polls, if it was happening today, number 1 is Georgia, number 2 Ohio State, number 3 Texas, and number 4 Alabama. So that being said, then, where are we going to go from here? Where are we going to go from here?
Hey man, I'm anxious to see how's all going to turn out.
As well. The big game of the week was Texas beating. We figured Texas would beat Michigan, but Texas put a whooping on Michigan this week, and so
kind of like what New Orleans did to my team, huh?
Yeah, not as bad. I'm not gonna say it wasn't as bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad.
Sometimes it bees like that, Steve.
What happened to you guys?
It bees like that.
But we're gonna, like I said, that's our little tidbit. We're gonna get to that.
We got a whole lot to get into.
But I know you're not a huge college fan.
I know you're ready to badmouth my team, but let's stay
on.
Oh
no, I'm saying about college. I've said,
I know, but
it's coming.
We hang out a lot, and I feel the energy coming from you right now that you just can't wait. Do you want to get out the system and say something bad about me?
No, I got other things. I got more important things to get into than Carolina.
Oh, okay. Now. Thank you.
That's like a backhanded slap.
Yeah.
Carolina's not that important. There's worse people I want to get off my chest than
Panther Nation. You can forgive him.
I know.
He hate on every team, but besides, and he hate on this team too. So I don't know.
I hate on my team. Hey,
he's an equal opportunity person.
For 2 seasons, I wouldn't even wear this type of cap because I was so ashamed of the organization. And we're gonna get to the Commanders a little bit too. We're gonna talk about them a little bit, but anything else you want to talk about college? I mean, we got so much NFL to get into. You want to mention anything else?
Nah, I'm letting you handle that because I'm ready to get, man.
Like I said,
a whole bunch of stuff happened over this weekend.
A whole bunch of stuff. We're gonna start. Let's start first with Thursday and Friday, and our theme for this week is going to be a tale of 2 quarterbacks.
Ooh.
And so on Thursday, we had the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. And then on Friday, we had the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And when I say a tale of 2 quarterbacks, I've tried to give Lamar Jackson the benefit of the doubt. I've always been kind of a guy who's kind of gone back and forth on Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely talented. Talent-wise, nobody can question anything about the talent he has.
The man is a bad mamma jamma.
He's a bad mamma jamma, but the problem with him, and I'm going to lump him into the category with the 2 quarterbacks I hate the most.
Aaron Rodgers is one.
That's one.
And Kirk Cousins is 2.
Yes.
I know who you hate the most because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yes.
And Kirk Cousins is better than what everybody be saying about him. That's all I say.
All I got to tell you is 1, 2, 3, 0-3 for the weekend. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's we and then there's me. And when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and Lamar Jackson, they all are me players. All about me. And I'm going to explain to you why. I watched that whole Chiefs-Ravens game. Now, in the offseason, the Ravens went out and picked up Derrick Henry, who we all know has been a beast for his 8-9 years in the NFL. And he's a beast because why? He's 6'2", 250-plus pounds, power in between the line.
And he pays the cost to be the boss.
Pays the cost to be the boss. So you would think the Ravens going out and getting a guy like Derrick Henry, he's a workhorse. Let that man work. He's somebody who he gets better after 20, 25 carries. Now, you're playing against the Chiefs. We all know you can't beat the Chiefs with Lamar Jackson only. So what do the Ravens do?
We know that, but does Lamar Jackson know that?
Well, that's what my problem. That's why I'm putting him into the Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. He thinks it's all about him. I mean, I don't understand it. You went out in the offseason, you picked up Derrick Henry thinking this is the key factor. This is the factor that's going to get you over these big games. So what do? They let Lamar Jackson running around thinking he's still 2023.
Well, Harbaugh is the man, but I don't know why no one is talking to this man. But see, I'm glad you finally jumped on the ship because
Oh man,
last season and the season before, you've been a Lamar Jackson fan, and I've been saying this since 2 seasons ago, when Baltimore should have at least 2 championships.
well, I listen to me.
Championships.
I'm listen to me. I've been, like I said, as I started out, I told you I've been a Lamar Jackson apologist for too long, and I apologize no more. You right now, Lamar Jackson, I don't care how talented you are. I'm putting you in the same boat as Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. It's all about me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's okay for you to run around 14 times, 100 and whatever yards. That's what the Chiefs want you to do.
The problem with that is Lamar Jackson is an accurate passer, for one.
Yeah.
Second, he has all his talent where he can extend plays.
He has Derrick Henry.
I don't even well, you're rushing it. He has Derrick Henry this year. Last year he had Dalvin Cook, and they did not utilize his talent.
But that's my whole point. He's had talented running backs, but he won't. You went out and got Derrick Henry under the guys, understanding that you weren't able to get the job done the way you did it before.
Running backs are an afterthought on Baltimore.
Well, they don't need
They use running backs sparingly. They rather put the quarterback in harm's way and have him do quarterback sneaks and to the right. And hey, it is what it is. But
they lost that game because in the fourth quarter, when it was time to let Derrick Henry feed him, let him do his thing, he wasn't even in the game. They had him on the sidelines. And the most crucial part of the game, when the game was on the line, you got Lamar Jackson running around thinking he's Superman again, doing these wild passes, missed the guy wide open, missed Zay Flowers in the end zone wide open, and then threw a ball over.
And that's from being overexcited. The whole thing is Lamar Jackson has so many talented pieces around him.
Oh my God.
As you've seen from the beginning of the game, he can get the ball out of there. Rely on your wide receivers. Rely on your running back.
And where was Mark Andrews? He had 2 catches the whole game.
He used Likely.
He used Likely 18 times.
Evidently, him and Likely hung out in the offseason. and
oh
that's,
my God.
Hey, well, now he has both tight ends. He can pass to both of them. They both are wide open targets.
Oh my goodness!
I see plays when he's running around. There's wide open men. His men get open. Mm-hmm. All he has to do is trust his team, and this team will be great. Now, the time I want a quarterback like him to pull his extra talent out is in the playoffs. Don't wear yourself out before the playoffs. Now I'm guessing people are starting to see what I've said for the last 3 years.
Well,
Lamar Jackson save his legs for the playoffs. They will be unstoppable.
Well,
unstoppable.
If he plays like he did, he's not going to make it through the season. If he run around like he did this game, he's not going to make it through the season.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Steve. He's never made it through. Every season, he kind of breaks down toward the end of the season because he overworks himself.
Well, listen, you and I are on the same page now because, like I said, I've given him every benefit of the doubt, but now I got to put him in that same boat because there's no reason why he has more rushes than Derrick Henry. He had 14 and Derrick Henry had 13.
We have a person on YouTube saying hello to you, B Pope. Giving you a shout out.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We just, like I said, we just 2 fans who get the emotions. We get happy, we get sad. We just want to see good football, and we don't. When we see football that pisses us off, we're gonna let you know. And that Ravens Chiefs game pissed me off because not that I want to see Mahomes. I love Mahomes. I love what he does to the game. I mean, but he plays the game the right way. He knows when to be the me guy, and he knows when to be the we guy, and he does it in between. He gets the ball to the guys who make things happen.
Mahomes take care of business on all facets of the game, and he does it with super classy. And
everybody,
he's a pleasure to watch. And he looks unstoppable this year too. The NFL teams done messed around and let Patrick Mahomes get better.
Yeah.
Last season was our hope for us for anybody to take Patrick Mahomes down because his wide receivers were trash.
Well,
Now that's a lot to say about somebody's wide receivers being trash and they won the Super Bowl.
well, I want to say so. I very rarely give you props, but I do give you props on one person because you mentioned about him and I slipped on him, Xavier Worthy.
Oh, that was my sleeper in fantasy this season.
Yeah, you called me on that one, and I was slipping on him. I saw him in Texas, and I thought he'd be good, but he has a whole different gear. He when he ran that end around, and he just went into that next gear. I said, "Oh, this is damn Tyreek Hill."
Let me show you. One of our YouTube and Facebook watchers told me about him and made me watch him. So I watched tape on him, and I found out this man is faster than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill, nobody can mess with him in the NFL.
No,
this man has an extra gear that he does Tyreek Hill speed. And he can pull away from him.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, he made the other guys look like they were just playing Little League football.
I seen this man hit a corner, and the angle he hit the corner was he was caught by two men. By the time he hit that corner, those two men looked like they were running in place.
Yeah. All I gotta say is when they get Hollywood Brown back next week or the week after, and you got him, Worthy, and Rice in the backfield along with Kelsey. The rest of the league better watch out. So yeah,
buckle your seatbelts.
Buckle your seatbelts. So we're gonna give a shout out love for KC. KC's looking good, and then I get a dumper for the Ravens. I don't know what the Ravens. You had all season prepare. You're gonna come out, and the best you can do is have what's his name come out, Lamar Jackson come out and just do the same thing he did in the championship game to lose.
And you think you're gonna get different results.
So now let's talk about another quarterback though on the Friday game who kind of gets it, and that's Jalen Hurts. And, I don't like giving Eagles much love, but
fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly. One thing I will say about the Eagles is that they got a stud in Saquon Barkley.
Woo! And I knew it.
And Jalen Hurts being a we guy instead of a me guy, he let Saquon Barkley do his thing. And Saquon did his thing. How many touchdowns he had? 2, 3?
Hey.
Yeah.
All I know, fantasy nightmare, fantasy beast.
Yes. And so Eagles went out in a real good game. I don't, if what's the name getting hurt? Love didn't get hurt. They might have pulled that game out.
I'm upset. Why? Hey, you know what? I think we're getting a lot of injuries because of quarterbacks not warming up properly in preseason.
Right, yeah. Absolutely.
Even if you're not going to play your quarterback, he needs to go through the progressions on the field that day.
Right.
Or something.
Do something. Yeah, it's going to be too much.
Coming out cold, we getting too many injuries.
Yeah, way too many injuries and sloppy play. That's the thing. The sloppy play is bothering some. But I will say though, the NFL, the teams that get it understand beginning of the season, you got to run the ball.
Yes, sir.
Run the ball. Teams that ran the ball and ran the ball often won. Teams that tried to pass the ball often lost. And
run, Saquon, run.
And evidence, yeah, exactly. So evidence of this is that last week there were no 400-yard passers. Only two quarterbacks passed for 300 yards. You had Tua at 338.
Yes, sir. And say my quarterback name.
Tua.
Yes. Say my other quarterback name because I got both of them in fantasy.
And Matthew Stafford threw for 350. 317. So those are only two.
And that's the guy that everybody didn't want to pick up.
I don't pick up Stafford.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to give everybody this tidbit, and I normally don't do this for fantasy football. I'm just going to put this out here. If you're picking up a wide receiver in the first round, and, this boggles my mind, just like when Kirk Cousins was in Minnesota, the number one wide receiver was who, Steve?
You know the number one.
Justin Jefferson.
But actually,
everybody picked up Justin Jefferson, and then they left Kirk Cousins on the bench like he was a bum.
Yeah, I did.
They left him on the bench like he was a bum, like Justin Jefferson throws the ball to himself. And I love making money off you guys because you guys are some special people. special.
Before he had Jefferson, remember he had Stephon Diggs.
Hey.
And so he left from Diggs to go to Jefferson. So he's had 2-star wide receivers.
He made both of those careers.
Well, I won't go that far because Justin Jefferson still looked pretty solid this week without Kirk Cousins.
With who?
With the Minnesota Vikings, they beat.
Well, with what quarterback?
Your guy's Darnold.
Oh,
Sam Darnold.
The guy that I said wasn't washed up?
Yes.
So all you people that was hating on Sam Darnold, I told you he wasn't washed up.
You did.
I told you.
You did.
He just needed a team.
Yeah.
And Carolina fans, I'm gonna get to y'all. I'm gonna get to some of y'all fair weather fans later on in the show. But let's go on with this.
Let's go on and continue. So we had 700-yard rushers this week, led by the 3. Joe Mixon, who had a resurrection with the Texans. I didn't see that he would come out that strong, but he looked good.
That's one of my running backs.
Here's a surprise one. Mason for the 49ers. Who saw
a surprise?
It's a surprise.
A surprise?
Because the Niners did a fast one on us. They had us thinking all week, oh, McCaffrey's going to come out, McCaffrey's going to play. And then the last second, McCaffrey's out. We're going to start Mason.
Sounds like a fine coming.
And
sounds like a fine coming because Mason let it slip. Did you hear it?
Yeah, he said, I knew Friday I was starting.
I don't think you were supposed to say that, man.
And then somebody was like, no, you weren't supposed to say that. And so NFL is investigating.
Hey, it's a wrap. This man done told on y'all. He just dry snitched for everybody.
He went straight snitch. Woo! So, but he had 147 yards. And then the surprise running back, who I called J.K. Dobbins. You kept trying to tell me Gus Edwards is going to be the starting running back for the Chargers,
which he is.
He didn't start.
But he started. He started. The way they put it was they go with the hot hand. So whoever starts off fast gets the bulk of the carries.
Well, J.K.
So don't let that fool you.
Okay. Well, I'm happy I started J.K. Dobbins, and I'm pissed off because in 2 leagues, I was thinking that you kept putting in my head Gus Edwards, and I said, okay, I'm going to put him on the bench this week.
I'm only telling you who the starter was.
Man, I wish I would have started Dobbins in those leagues. But anyway, yeah, Dobbins had 135 yards and a couple touchdowns. So yeah,
I got a feeling that the Chargers are going to be the new. Remember how Belichick used to do that? Whoever had the hot hand was staying in the game. Or if you had the hot hand and he just wanted to trick the team, he would put the other running back in just to throw them off.
But the key is that they run the ball. That's the key to win. Defense and running the ball is the key to win, especially early in the season when your team is not all on point. That's why I don't understand the Ravens. The Ravens had a shaky offensive line. If you got a shaky offensive line, you especially got to run the ball because you don't want to put them in pass defense situations where they're going to make mistakes. And how many times that guy was offside for the Ravens? Like about 4 times. I
don't think it was offside. He was lining up wrong.
Right, but he's lining up wrong because he's trying to pass block. And so the key this year, they don't want offensive linemen to have an advantage as far as being offline. So they said now you have to line on the line of scrimmage. If you're any bit off the line, they're going to call a penalty. So this guy's trying to stay there. So first of all, he's tipping off there's going to be pass plays because when he's lined up behind the offensive line that it's going to be a pass play. And then number 2, he kept doing it over and over again. It's like after the first time, line up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a new rule they put in,
right?
That where you line up, and I'm still trying to get it myself because I seen other teams doing and they were getting away with it.
Yeah.
They even let them get away with it after they gave them a couple penalties with it. Yeah. So what's going on with this penalty? Are you going to just call it around the board, or are you going to pick and choose when you're going to call it?
Well, it's that NFL again. They have these rules and then they don't enforce it consistently. But I guess there's a part of, we can't call it every time. It's like with holding. If we call it every single time, you can call holding 25 times a game. So you got to pick and choose. But
these rules need to be enforced a couple months before the season starts so they can practice with these rules.
Well, the players knew. It wasn't like they went in there and had no idea what the rule was. I think it's just human nature. If you're used to line up a certain way, it's harder now to change your way and say, okay, now I'm going to line up on the line of scrimmage.
But that's just like the kickoff. I like the kickoff rule because now we're going to get kickoffs. Now the kicker's got to practice kicking between that the goal line and the 30,
Right.
or they're gonna lose those yards and put a team on the 30 already
Well, we're gonna
instead of keeping them on the 25.
right. We're gonna start getting some touchdowns. We got our first touchdown. DJ Dallas scored a touchdown for Arizona on that kickoff rule.
DJ Dallas.
So the question is the over under. Do you think there's gonna be at least 10 touchdowns on kickoffs with this new rule?
At least this season.
You think so? You think
10? At least.
Okay, so you're taking the over. I think I take the over too. It's gonna be now that teams can strategize on this kickoff. There's going to be a lot of kickoffs.
And they have to stand there till the person catches the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
So if you can just bust one hole, if you can sit there and open up a wedge, that guy's gone because nobody, the kicker's not going to be able to catch him. So that's going to be interesting to see. So, yeah, so let's see. So we talked about the Eagles. We talked about the Ravens. Let's get into Sunday. Sunday. Where do we want to start?
You know what? Let's just start. Get it out your system. And,
all right.
And we got our bus.
I wasn't going. Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. We got our bus kid. Go ahead.
No, I want to give a shout out to Mama Rubain, Mary Rubain, who in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She, we talk.
Ooh, North Carolina. I like how that sounds.
Yeah. Well, we love talking about football. It's great to have a mother who loves football and will talk football with you.
Yes. And that stays in Carolina.
So she said that she was following the local sports radio shows and that there's a lot of arguments as to whether or not Bryce Young should stay the quarterback of the Panthers or should they put in our man Andy Dalton. Now, mind you, I'm going to go back and say last year before the season started, I said Andy Dalton should start. There's no way I would put Bryce Young out there because what was the reason why I told you not to put Bryce Young out there? What's going to happen to him? He's going to lose his what?
Confidence.
He's going to lose his confidence. Let's see where we are now. So 1 year and 1 game into the season, look what's happened to Bryce Young, our Heisman Trophy winner, number 1 pick in the draft. People are already calling him bum. People are saying he needs to be replaced. There was even, the Carolina Panthers even went out and put out a 9/11, tribute. Like, all the NFL teams put out tributes for 9/11. And the fan base used the 9/11 tribute to desecrate the organization. One guy even went up and said,
"Yeah, I'm drinking water on this because he got a lot to say."
One guy even on Instagram posted after the 9/11 tribute. He said, "Man, I wish some of these Carolina Panthers were inside that World Trade Center." That's harsh. That's a harsh statement. I mean, I understand you're not liking your team, but come on now, don't wish death on these guys. But the fan base is a little little feisty.
Well, our fan base is a little fickle.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. Much love to all y'all, Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. Steve, can I get 2 minutes? I got to say something. I got to say something.
I'm leaving for you. That's what I said.
And I got to address the nation first, the Panther Nation.
Cali Cat Pack Nation.
First of all, Bryce Young came here. He didn't ask to come here. He was drafted here. And when he got here, he got drafted to a coach that did not want him and treated him as such. Now, I agree with Steve last season. Andy Dalton should have been brought in, and Bryce Young should have been calling the plays for Andy Dalton so he can get the speed of the NFL and brought up the speed. Let Andy Dalton, the backup, take the lumps for the young phenom. Let the young phenom get a taste for it by watching it, maybe run a few plays, but let the old vet show him the speed of the NFL and let him see how he gets the ball off. It wasn't done that way. We had an old coach that wanted C.J. Stroud, through the rumor mill, and was made to get Bryce. And I'll admit, I wanted C.J. Stroud, but I also said that I wanted Bryce Young. I would take either one of them. I just said C.J. Stroud was ready to go off the press and that Bryce Young needed a couple years. Now, last year was Bryce's rookie year, and he got fed through the ringer by
lack of talent. You said they had a lack of offensive talent.
There you have it. But understand where that's coming from. A lack of offensive talent and a lack of culture. Because what happened to Carolina is that Our heart got pulled out from the offense. Our heart got pulled out from the coaching staff. We had a culture in Carolina. We had a defensive culture, and a tremendous disadvantage was put to us when they let Steve Wilkes go. So now, no tears. We have to grow up from that. We have to stop starting over. And the way to stop starting over is to understand what's going on. First, we had Sam Darnold, we had Baker Mayfield. When they were here, they looked just like Bryce Young, hot garbage. We weren't doing anything. Nothing was moving, but we had a bright ray of sunshine when Steve Wilkes was here. He brought this team together and had us doing something, and then it was ripped apart again. Now Bryce Young gets brought into here, and guess what? They give away not one, but two of our first round draft picks. Christian McCaffrey was given away for magic beans and Brussels sprouts to the 49ers. Okay. We have to regrow what we had. But you can't blame Bryce Young for coming in and getting a coach and getting plays thrown at him and then getting a new staff and getting plays thrown at him, new guys after new guys. When a new guy comes in, he has to get used to the workers around him and he has to gel and get that cohesive action with his arms, which is the wide receivers and the running backs and the tight ends. He hasn't had that chance yet. Yes, last year, horrible, but both the other quarterbacks that were here were horrible. And to prove my point, both those quarterbacks are doing just fine elsewhere, aren't they, Steve? Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold.
Very well.
Why are they doing fine elsewhere and when they couldn't do fine here?
Talent and culture.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. But Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation.
I said this.
Stand up. You have to back our new QB. Yes, he looked horrible week one. He looked horrible.
Horrible. What's that?
Oh, my goodness.
What's that? He threw an interception on the first play of the game. Everybody scripts their first 15, 20 plays of the game. So they've had weeks to work on those first 20 plays. He not only threw an interception, it was a horrible interception. It wasn't even a the ball was tipped or just the guy made the wrong direction. He threw the ball way over the guy's head.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, we get the point, Steve.
I just want to stress it.
I just want to stress it. I see where you're going there.
Woo!
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. But I can't say any more. But guess what?
I'm gonna leave it at that. Because I see you getting more. but I'm gonna tell you about a team that got it right. The New England Patriots.
Where did they come from?
Now, wait a second. New coach, Gerard Mayo. Shout out to him. First game. He had a decision to make. He also had a stud quarterback in Drake May. And he went out in the offseason and picked up, as I mentioned before, the ultimate backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
Now, he could have gone with the conventional wisdom and sat there and threw Drake May out to the Wolves playing against the Bengals. He said, no, I'm going to start Jacoby Brissett, the veteran, all-time great backup quarterback, because we understand we're not going to win now, possibly, but we don't want to ruin this young guy. So what do the Patriots do? You know, I went out and I got my mom into the survivor pool.
Right.
First time she's ever done it. So we're like saying, we went to the game and said, look, let's go with the safe pick. We had the Patriots at the Bengals. I said, okay, that's going to be the safe pick. You know, there's no way the Bengals going to win. I know the Patriots are starting Jacoby Brissett, but they're going to have a tough time. They're going to get killed. Jacoby Brissett played his you-know-what off. The Bengals, we got to have a real question about our man Burrow.
Hey, but I want to put that Burrow is not a rookie, is he?
No, Burrow is not a rookie.
Burrow is a proven quarterback.
Well,
an exceptional proven quarterback that for the last 2 or 3 years has been kind of suspect, right?
He's been very suspect. But I'm going to blame him a little bit. But my biggest blame is going to be on Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase is playing games with this whole salary thing, this whole trying to get his contract. You got to go one way or the other. Are you going to play or are you not going to play? If you're going to play, then play. If you're not going to play, then sit out and step aside.
There
but
you
but
have
this
it.
whole out there and you're pulling the team down because me, my contract. That's a problem because it showed in that game that he didn't want to be out there. He wasn't doing much of nothing, and the Bengals just had nothing else. They had nothing else going for them.
Hey, well, I'm glad that you segued that in from us talking about Carolina.
Yeah,
because that's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals lost
Oh, they killed.
to the New England Patriots without Belichick,
Yes.
without Tom Brady, with who as quarterback?
Jacoby Brissett.
Exactly.
And 50%, over 50% of the survivor pools were lost this weekend because of that game alone.
Why hasn't he been thrown under the bus like Bryce Young? It's been 3 years, Steve. Why hasn't Joe Burrow been thrown under the bus?
Okay.
He lost to the New England Patriots. They've rebuilt everything.
Easy answer. That's the easiest answer. He's taking the team to the Super Bowl. So once you get that Super Bowl thing, then you get the benefit of the doubt.
That's not true.
It is true. Name me one quarterback who took a team to the Super Bowl who didn't get that benefit of the doubt.
Cam Newton. Thank you.
Okay. Well, what was it? Okay. But what is it? But Cam Newton's undoing was not based on anything on the field. I'm talking about on the field benefit of the doubt.
Cam Newton. You simply asked me to name a quarterback, and I just named him.
But I'm answering your question.
Okay, I'm listening.
Cam Newton's problems was never based on his on the field play. Cam Newton's issues have been his off the field play. That's a different story. Joe Burrow, nobody questions Joe Burrow's off the field position.
Hold up, Steve.
Go ahead.
What has Cam Newton done off the field? Because
it's his attitude.
No.
The things he's done, the way he presents himself.
See, Cam Newton has been a stand-up guy. He's been a company guy.
No.
He's not a guy that's went and told stories or anything like that. Even when Richardson, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, it came out that he was saying racial slurs in the office.
Right.
Cam Newton still spoke highly of this person because of what he knows of him, regardless of the proven fact of the racial slurs.
Okay.
He showed out to be a stand-up guy. Let's stop that.
Okay.
The thing with Cam Newton was his persona, his aura was so big, and people did not like
not
that.
People. Who was your coach then? Who was the coach that ran Cam Newton off? Ron Rivera.
Nah, it wasn't Ron Rivera.
It was Ron Rivera. Yes, it was. Ron Rivera was the one. When he left Carolina, it was Rivera that put him under the bus. And then when he had a chance to play with Washington, what happened with Rivera? Did Rivera pick him up?
Nah, he didn't.
When he had nobody better? So, I mean, it's an old school type coach who couldn't handle Cam Newton's mannerisms, and that ultimately it was like, remember back with Mike Singletary with Vernon Davis,
right?
When Mike's like, I can't play with him, I can't win with him. It's Ron Rivera with the same mentality. That was the same approach, and so I mean, anyway, I'm agreeing with you. I think Cam Newton got a bum rap. I'm just telling you though that his bum rap was based off the field stuff. It wasn't based off his talent.
Yeah, because he has plenty of talent, and has plenty more. Oh, yeah. I just hate that, his aura was so big and his personality was so big that people hated on the man just because of his personality.
I know.
My goodness.
It is tough. It is tough to understand. But let's get into another quarterback that and let me tell you something about fantasy. Let me talk to people about fantasy football, the understanding of
it's fantastic.
It is fantastic, but a lot of people, after 1 week of the season, they go into panic mode. It's like a guy has a bad game, and then it's like, oh my God, I got to go ahead and make changes. I got to cut people and do this and trade. Relax, guys. Relax.
Not me, Steve. Not me.
Not me either. Well, you and I are veterans of the fantasy, so we understand you can't panic off of just 1 week of fantasy football. I saw in your league this week, one of the guys cut Deshaun Watson and picked up Baker Mayfield. Now,
I'm not gonna lie, I dropped Deshaun Watson too.
Why would you do that?
Huh?
It's been 1 week. I'm not going to panic.
He's my backup
One,
quarterback.
1 week against a strong Cowboys defense. I'm not going to sit there and panic on the guy. Now I'm
I
concerned
picked up
about
Matthew
him.
Stafford.
Yeah, but
Seemed like a better bet to me.
no, I don't think. I think
I won't need him until a certain week.
all right.
You know, it's just a backup.
Okay, but the thing is,
and he's standing with his feet in the mud right now. Why I want him on my bench?
because it was just 1 week. I'm not going to sit here and panic on Deshaun Watson just because he had a bad game. Now I'm concerned about him. Now the concern is what's going on with him because he now got some more sexual allegations coming out.
That was going to happen.
I mean, it's going to happen, but you got to get together. But
when you see you can make some money, go get it.
Yeah, but guys need to relax. If you believe in the guy to draft him, give him at least 2 or 3 weeks before you make a decision. Now, it's one thing if they get hurt, but just having a bad game, don't go into panic mode and start dropping guys left and right and offering trades. Somebody tried to offer me a trade. They want me to trade Zach Charbonnet for Ty Johnson. Come on now. Do you think I'm an amateur to fantasy football that I'm going to let Zach Charbonnet, who is probably the best number 2 running back in the NFL, let him go for somebody who, God bless? I mean, I don't understand it. But people get into these things, they think, oh, we can just get away with just making crazy trades and bad offers. So
if you guys just now tuning in, please like, subscribe, and share. And we have a Facebook page, Blow the Whistle Sports. We are on my personal page right now on Facebook, but I'm ready. I got to move on and get it on to the Blow the Whistle page so we can do bigger and better things from the Blow the Whistle page. And we just need a few more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go to our Blow the Whistle page and subscribe now. And if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, go subscribe there too. And we also have a contest on officepool.com.
Yes.
All season long. At every 4 games, we're giving out some surprises, some gifts. And you should jump into that because we are going to give away a lot, from gift cards to random things. Yeah. But hey, tune in, and to be able to get any of this stuff, you have to subscribe to both our Facebook, Blow the Whistle Sports, and our YouTube page, which is Blow the Whistle Sports already. And I'm gonna show you the icon that you're gonna see when you go there. And this is the icon when you go there. You will see this, and that's our logo right there. When you see that, subscribe, please subscribe. Or you might see this one. Subscribe, please subscribe. We need your support so our Facebook page can go off without a hitch, and we got a lot of good things coming. But without further ado, let's get back into these games.
Let's run through some games real quick. Let's go about some of these high draft picks. So number 1 pick, Caleb Williams, struggled. I mean, there's no other word to use. He struggled, but they were able, defense and special teams, pulled out a win against another team who was struggling, the Titans. So the jury's going to still be out on him. And there was, he showed glimpses, and we say glimpses of greatness, very small glimpses. But for the most part, he looked like a rookie. So we're going to hold off on him. Now, the number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels, while he lost, he looked a little bit better than Caleb Williams. He definitely looked like, if you had to go off of this week, he looked like the number 1 pick, and Caleb Williams looked like number 2 because Jaden Daniels got some wheels. He had a couple touchdown runs, some good passes. He looked like the room wasn't too big for him. He looked like he belonged on the field. And so Washington got some struggles on the offensive line, as always. We're going to have to wait and see that. I don't know. It's going to be, it's still a building process, but the future is looking brighter. It looks like we got our quarterback. And so, yeah, we're going to leave it at that.
Shout out to Hasibi Gill. She said everywhere Jacoby Brissett goes, he wins. He should be a starter over Drake May.
He should. I'm agreed. That's what I said. I said it was a smart move on the Patriots' part. They go ahead with the guy who, like you said, everywhere he goes, he just wins. He's not flashy. He's not somebody who's going to go out there and throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. But he just finds a way to win the games. And so.
And Latham Mahir Jr. says Joe went to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. That's Joe Burrow. The only thing that's saving Joe Burrow right now was that one season where he took him to the Super Bowl, and so he's going to get a longer leash because of that. If he didn't have that season, right now the Bengals would be howling. The Bengal fans would be howling, but they're going to give him, at least to the half of the season to get together. So
Latham here Jr. says, "What's good? Stop picking against my Eagles. My Birds did that."
I said, I
picked them.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked the Packers to win. I thought the Packers were, I thought Jordan Love was going to do a little bit more than what he did.
Yeah, Steve.
But like I said, I came out. I recognized. I gave props to I've always liked the quarterback for the Eagles. I'm not going to lie to you. I liked him in college. I've been following him since he was at Alabama. I followed him in Oklahoma. I just think he has that it factor. There's just something he got that chip on his shoulder that you like out of a quarterback. He's one of them guys. He's a little too serious at times.
What was your record this week, Steve?
Oh, I was 8-8.
Oh man!
Oh no, this was a tough week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Steve was 8-8.
I was 8-8.
Y'all know he was 8-8 this week.
I believe in the Ravens. Listen to me. I thought that the Ravens, when they got Derrick Henry, I thought they were going to go out there and run. I'm sitting there throwing stuff at the TV. I'm like, what are they doing? They playing the same way they played in the championship.
When Henry got that touchdown,
I thought,
he might as well went and took a shower.
I said, okay. Once he got that touchdown, I said, oh,
you thought he was firing up.
Well, I said he's gonna have one of them 25 for 180.
You thought he was firing up. You thought he was charged up. Yeah. Well, he was charged up, but
the team wasn't charged. They didn't understand.
He was on the sideline getting his old spice.
Maybe he couldn't find his helmet. I don't know what happened. Fourth quarter, he was nowhere to be found.
Oh, our weekly standings in the office football pool. Sports.
I got to catch up.
Desert Eagle 86 is 13-3.
Good job, Eagle fan.
Woo! Shout out to Desert Eagle. Oh, and what am I? I'm 12-4.
Oh, whatever.
And Jay Wizzo 11-5, and Steve picking up.
Don't remind me. Yeah, it was a tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a tough week. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it was all right. It wasn't all right. It was tough.
Yeah, it was really tough because you talked about my Panthers, but Baker Mayfield went over there to Tampa Bay and he put hands on the Washington Commanders also.
Baker Mayfield, somebody else. Like I said, that was strictly just an emotional pick. I thought Jake and Dan was going to come out and show out, and he showed out for the most part. But Baker Mayfield, he's another guy who just gets a bum rap. All he does is go out there and play solid football. And
football.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame that he was in Carolina and the so-called fair weather fans, I'm not saying everybody, but some of y'all was calling him out too.
This is me. I point out that Baker Mayfield has doubled the playoff wins than Kirk Cousins in half the seasons. So Baker Mayfield on 3 different organizations, he has more playoff wins than Kirk Cousins does in 12-13 seasons in the NFL. I'll leave it at that.
You know what? Let's do our picks for next week we can get that out the way.
Yeah, we're going to hold off on our predictions for till next week for the whole season.
Well, let's wait till week 4.
Yeah,
because then we'll get a
better idea. Because I've already made some changes to some of these.
Those 4 wins, I should have had a perfect sheet. Those 4 wins.
Yeah, well,
it was like that.
Well, no. Because I know you're trying to skip on it, but let's talk about your favorite quarterback. Who's your all-time favorite quarterback?
Aaron Rodgers. I thought we was gonna get out of here.
Oh no!
Go ahead and throw Aaron under the bus again, Steve. I know that's what you wanted to do. Go ahead.
Oh man, that game put me to sleep. First of all, I'm kind of sad I missed most of it because I'm not gonna lie to you. I slept through most of the first and second quarter, but
I didn't.
Aaron Rodgers, for what I saw of him, same old Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Same old Aaron Rodgers, looking all sad and glum, looking all dejected, no emotions, not a team guy, a me guy. He needs to retire. I mean, he's robbing this organization, the Jets. These poor fans think they're gonna get something out of him. It's robbery what he's done to them. I mean, I know they haven't won a playoff game in like 12 or 13 years, but come on.
Hey, I don't know what you saw, but you know what I saw with Aaron Rodgers? He's back.
Back to what?
Hey, man, everybody's allowed a bad game.
Right.
The Jets are going to make a push this season, sir.
Pull up his stats. Go ahead and pull up his stats real quick. This is a guy who's saying he's back.
He is
Pull,
back.
pull up his stats.
All right. Stats is here. What do you?
Go ahead. Read them off for us.
13 and 21, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
You can get that out of Jacoby Brissett. You can get that out of a mediocre quarterback. What was Bryce Young? Pull up Bryce Young stats.
Oh my goodness! Why are we going there, Steve?
Pull up Bryce Young stats. I got a point to make.
Oh man,
pull up Bryce Young stats.
I don't need you throwing my QB under the bus, sir.
No, pull up his stats. I'm gonna prove a point.
Okay.
How did Bryce Young do stat wise?
Bryce Young, 13 and 30, 161 yards, and 2 interceptions.
That's pretty much the same stat. Only there's the one less interception.
You just wanted me to throw my QB under the bus, sir.
I'm just saying, you're paying $55 million to Aaron Rodgers. Your boy's under his rookie contract. He's doing the same stats for the most part as Aaron
Rodgers was out for 1 year. He's back. It's his first game. And he's going to string those wins in there. And Jets fans, you guys will be just fine.
Out. I would be accepting that reasoning if not for the fact that in the offseason, he refused to come in for any of the mandatory trainings. He went to Egypt instead of a mandatory meeting where he's supposed to be the leader of the organization. He's going off to Egypt somewhere for some kind of retreat.
He's Aaron freaking Rodgers, man.
You're talking about team building. What's that? Team building.
He's Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Okay, yeah, you're the leader organization. You're supposed to set the tone for the organization. Everybody else is there, and you're somewhere in Egypt on a retreat. And then you come out game one and do this thinker in the game of the year for the Niners. I mean, the Niner game was a game that people wanted to see. This is the game that he should have been up the most for, and he snuck it up.
Hey, man, the Niners are a prolific team. Exactly. The Niners are another team that, as you see, didn't need Christian McCaffrey. They are deep at running back, which brings back my point from years past. The Niners could run the ball down anybody's throat in any game. That's why when they got to the Super Bowl and their quarterback got hurt, all they needed was him to hand the ball off, and that's what they didn't do. They were broke in more ways than one in that game. But shout out to Lathan Mahilia. He says, we don't find out the real story on these QBs until week 5. They in preseason mode right now.
Yeah,
and that's a good statement right there.
Yeah, good statement. You can say that. Okay, I'll give you that.
But and B. Pope said, I played fantasy ball too. I need a tight end and picked up Likely, and that was a good move.
That was a great move.
Good
like I said, I don't know, Likely and Lamar Jackson have some kind of a special relationship because he was finding Likely all over the place, and he wasn't looking at Mark Andrews for nothing.
Mark Andrews got hurt last season. He got used to using Likely.
I'm just saying because I had him on a couple fantasy teams. It has nothing more to do than just the fact of I had him on 2 fantasy teams. He gave me like 2 points.
I had a feeling. Feeling.
You know, whenever I have these comments, understand that these are comments being made from a fantasy perspective.
And that's why we like here at Blow the Whistle Sports. We're not bound by any network. They can't tell us what to do. We do what we want to do.
Exactly.
And when we see something, if we see the BS, we're going to call them on the BS, and we're going to say it to you guys and give it to you like it T.I. is.
As we should. You ready to get to these picks? I'm exhausted from last week.
Let's blow through them. Bills at the Dolphins. Taking the Bills here, sir. Even though Miami got a nice defense. Heck of a defense.
You know something? The games in Miami, we didn't even get to the Tyreek Hill thing. Should we even go into the Let's leave the Tyreek Hill for the very last part of the show. That's going to be our end of the show commentary. Yeah. But I'm going to take the Dolphins because I think Tyreek Hill is going to show out this week. Even though I do like the Bills, I do like how the new Bills team look. At home, Dolphins.
Right.
All right.
Raiders, Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. The Ravens are going to blow the Raiders out. They're going to look like they're stuck in the mud. I'm looking at this game being like 37-10.
I'm agreeing with you. It's not going to be that bad, but I do agree that I think the Ravens now, after they've been called out for not using Henry right, I think he's going to come out and have a beast game. So I got Ravens too.
And then that puts that in the Raiders' favor because that's going to take more time on the ground to move the ball rather than the fast pace that the Ravens like to play at.
Right.
Chargers going to Carolina to play the Panthers.
We have
I
to even announce
say
it.
Carolina have a bounce back week. Bryce Young hears all the mouths going, and he goes and squeaks out a win over there in Carolina against the Chargers, the Bolts.
Do you guys see this craziness he's talking?
Who you taking, Steve? You not taking
I got
Carolina?
the Bolts. I mean, it's not even a question.
You took Carolina last week.
And I learned my lesson.
Okay.
Like I said, I learned my lesson. I thought I was buying into your hype, telling me that this is going to be a new Panther team. I learned my lesson. We're going to
still shock the world, Steve. And when the Saints come marching in, they're going to play in Dallas this week.
As much as I like the Saints, and much as I hate the Cowboys, as I always say every week with the Cowboys.
That kind of sounds like you taking that.
Yeah, the Cowboys look great in the regular season. I mean, they just look like world beat. I mean, they went out there and made the Browns look like an amateur team.
Hey, they paid Dak Prescott, and I'm going to say this. He looked like a new man out there, like he was just moving, and he had $1 million arms and $1 million legs. We're going to see how long
Let's see how it lasts in January.
Like I said, Ezekiel Elliott is back in town and looking good.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't even consider the Cowboys anything until January. So anything they do in the regular season don't impress me. They can go 14-2, 13-3.
So we both taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, we take the Cowboys.
Tampa Bay and Detroit.
Now this is the game of the week. This is
going to be a nice game.
This is a tough one.
Because Baker Mayfield got a little swag back there, but I like the Detroit Lions and that coach.
Where's the game?
It's in Detroit.
Okay, if it's in Detroit, I'll take Detroit at home.
I'm taking Detroit too. And then this game is another early morning game Sunday. Colts at the Packers without Love. There's no love in Green Bay right now.
Not
There's
necessarily.
No love.
Well, they haven't officially designated him as being out.
Yeah, but even if he plays, he's going to be a little gimpy right there.
Yeah, well, my fantasy stud player of the week, Anthony Richardson. Oh, he looked good. Man, he looked good. So, yeah, I'm just based on that alone, I'm going to take the Colts. But
I'm taking the Colts also.
Love could play.
I'm taking the Colts, and even if Love plays, he's going to play hurt, which would be stupid. Just get healthy because he looked awesome out there. Yeah, get your legs back up under you. So it was both unanimous on the Colts. Then we take the Browns, go into Florida to play the Jaguars.
Oh, Browns, Jags. Two teams that underachieved last week. Just look sloppy.
0-1 both. I'm taking the Jaguars.
You said 4 weeks to give. I think Deshaun Watson's hearing the rumors. He's hearing I just believe in him more than I believe in the Jags. So
even with the allegations coming out?
Yeah, I think that the Browns just have more talent, and I just believe he's going to have a bounce back.
Okay.
And he's back down south. I think
taking the Browns. I'm taking the Jags. Then we move into Minnesota, where the 49ers come down there to put hands on Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, don't get hurt because they gonna tackle you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they gonna tackle you. Watch out for that man on that other side, Bosa. He be putting hands on people, hurting people, beating people up. And I'm like, man, it just don't look right. I'm taking the 49ers in this game because the 49ers look like they're about to have an easy game. And Christian McCaffrey might be back this week, right?
They're saying he's a possibility.
I hope that they see Mason do enough to put both of those backs in the backfield on the right and the left, like the Raiders used to do back in the day with Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, and then have Brock Purdy in the middle where Ayuk can get his hands on the ball more, and so can that tight end Kittle out there, and Debo. They'll all become prime suspects because of that backfield being so deep.
I'm not going to argue with you. I got the Niners too.
And then we're going to travel out to New England where the Seahawks leave the 12th man at home and come to the New England Patriots Stadium to try to pull out that W. And I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
This is my upset special of the week.
Ooh.
It's just something's telling me that whatever the Patriots are going to do, they're going to find a way to pull this game out.
Ooh.
Seahawks going cross country, opening game in New England. I think the Patriots are going to find a way. They're going to start 2-0. It might be their only 2 wins of the season, but they're going to start 2-0. Seahawks, Geno. I didn't like what I saw of Geno.
I don't see it.
Okay,
I don't see it. But hey, I'll take your word for it. I just don't see it.
I watched the Seahawks game. Geno was kind of shaky. So,
okay. And then we're going to go get my man Aaron Rodgers, and he going to take a trip down to Tennessee to play them Titans out there and Will Levis. And I'm going to give Aaron Rodgers getting his first win of the season.
I'm only going to give him the win because of the defense. I think the defense alone would do enough to pull the game out.
I think Breece Hall have like 3 touchdowns in this game.
I think defense and running the ball. I mean, that's the way. So, like I said, I'm still not impressed with Aaron Rodgers, but I'll give the defense and Titans, they're a couple years away.
Now we're going to fly out to your stadium, Steve, out there in Washington
D.C.,
where New York is coming to town to try to put hands on y'all. And both these teams didn't show me much last week, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team and the Commanders and say that y'all get a win, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going with the Commanders too because we didn't even mention about Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones, they're just killing him. And
if you talk about somebody that got some money for nothing,
Daniel Jones is getting killed in New York.
He got some money for nothing.
What
has he done to get all that money that he got, Steve?
Well, the problem with him though is that you had the Italian stallion Tommy DeVito come out there last year and win some games. So in New York, when you get an Italian quarterback who's winning some games,
bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, you better come back and be on fire. So Daniel Jones stinking it up when they know they got Tommy DeVito on the bench. Man, I'm worried about his safety. So I got the Commanders winning. Daniel Jones, man, I hope for you. I hope nobody hurts you, man.
On Facebook, Hasibi Gill said, to be fair, it was his first game back from Achilles tear on the road against a strong defense, Steve.
Oh, that's me.
That's what I was saying,
okay,
Steve.
We understand that. Like I said, it wouldn't be such
Hasibi.
It wouldn't be such a big issue if the fact that he sat the whole preseason off. He sat there throughout all the workouts, played around, pity-patted around. Whenever having mandatory meetings, he's running off to Egypt. And then you come out and do a stinker. I said, no. I mean, why does Aaron Rodgers keep getting the benefit of the doubt? Everybody had an off season. Why does Aaron Rodgers get the benefit of the doubt when everybody else is held accountable? I don't understand why everybody just is all up on Aaron Rodgers like he's the next coming. Dak Prescott had an off season. It wasn't his first. It was his first game too, right? He looked good.
Yeah, he did look good.
Okay. So, I mean, why does Aaron Rodgers get this benefit of, it was just the first game, so. Because even Lamar Jackson.
Was Dak Prescott coming off an injury, Steve?
Okay.
I'm just asking the question. I'm just a messenger. Was he coming? No. So
no.
Aaron Rodgers was.
Okay.
That's the benefit of the doubt right there.
Yes. So the benefit of the doubt is he should have worked hard in the offseason.
He did.
He didn't. He did not. I mean, that's the whole point. In the whole offseason, he didn't do anything.
Oh,
all right.
Man.
All right, all you Aaron Rodgers fans. Just remember, guys, Aaron Rodgers, everybody loves, has not been to a Super Bowl since 2009. Just remember that, guys.
Hey, what's the stats against the Cowboys? They haven't been to Super Bowl since
they haven't since 1997. Oof.
Hey, when Steve is on one, he got his dates. I'm like, my goodness.
I don't like. It's. Don't get me started. All right, anyway.
We both picking Washington, right?
Yeah, let's finish this out.
Now Matthew Stafford without Puka Nacua. Is going out there to Arizona to play the Murphy and Connor in a hot stadium. You gotta, as hot as it was in Carolina, in California for the last week. I feel for these people in these pads that be out there up under the morning sun with that sun beating down on them.
Yeah,
and these people in Arizona about to be playing under some heat. They're going to have to be having water poured all over these guys when they come off the field.
I'm not worried about that. They'll cover up the dome, but I am worried about the Rams not having Nacua. But I still think they're going to pull it out.
Hey, Cooper Kupp looking nice.
Yeah.
He's taking his normal tendencies back while Puka, he's going to pick up the all the extra weight.
Right.
So I'm taking LA
I got
also.
LA, but it's gonna be a good game though. I think the Cardinals are gonna show out, but I think the Rams are gonna win.
And now we're going down to Denver,
Yeah.
where a team comes in there that surprised me with a W. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Denver to play the Broncos. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking Pittsburgh to beat the Broncos because who's the quarterback in Denver?
It's going to be it's not going to be our man Russell Wilson, because this is the game, it's really his revenge game. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, he has a so-called calf injury.
So-called calf injury. Because he was supposed to play until the last minute. Then at the last minute, the young guy got put in there and he did his thing.
So we're gonna go with Justin. Yeah, we're gonna go with Justin. He's gonna play enough
you taking
to win.
Pittsburgh also?
I got Pittsburgh also. Even though the Broncos, like I told you, with Bo Nix, they're gonna have some good moments. They're not gonna be a horrible team. Bo Nix is. I like him. I like what I see out of him.
And now Cincinnati gets on that plane and goes out to Kansas City to play Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Worthy, Downtown Brown, and others.
Yeah.
And I'm taking KC hands down.
Yeah.
I said just a few names, just to name a few. Just to name a few. Patrick Mahomes single-handedly takes this team down because they showed Joe Burrow like he couldn't even pick up a bottle of water with that hand. Right. What is going on with him and his hand?
I don't know. But I think he's going to get up for this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Bengals are going to play some better. They'll be better than last week. I'll say that much.
Steve, who going to win? Who going to win?
Oh, she's going to win.
Oh.
But the Bengals are going to show out. And it's not going to be a 30-point win.
Steve just signed a disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just signing a disclaimer that the Bengals are going to play better than they did last week.
But you're taking the Chiefs.
The Chiefs could possibly go 17-0.
But you're taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm saying.
But the Bills could possibly.
I don't see the Chiefs not being favored in any game this year. I don't see any team that I'm going to put as favorite over the Chiefs.
You shouldn't.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'll say it again. The Chiefs,
if they lose, they'll lose.
Won the Super Bowl last season. With
and they got better.
No actual wide receivers. They used mannequins and they still caught the ball.
Right. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you. Did you see Juju drop that one pass?
Yeah.
I said same old Juju. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The guy that was supposed to be the man, he never panned out.
He may not make it through the season. I think when Brown comes back and if Brown has anything in the tank, Juju's gone.
Wow.
So we got two more games. Sunday night games.
Well, the late night game is the Bears and the Texans. We get to see both these rookies head up, and we get to see where Caleb's coming from.
Right.
Because I want to see where he's coming from. They both 1-0, but I believe C.J. Stroud has too much swag to let the new quarterback come in there and show him down with his boys back there, Diggs, Nico, and Tank Dell,
yeah. No, I got the Texans too.
Okay.
Like I said, the Bears defense looks strong, but the offense, even with all that new talent, I think it'll take them a little time to get cohesion. So Texans should win easy. And then your favorite guy, your second favorite guy, because nobody can outdo Aaron Rodgers, but Kirk Cousins, Falcons versus the Eagles. Ooh, fly, Eagles, fly. Please take the Falcons. Take the Falcons.
We didn't call that game already?
Falcons, Eagles.
Oh, that's the Monday night game.
That's the Monday night game, yeah, because everybody's
Jalen Hurts.
Everybody's hyped up on the Falcons for whatever reason. They think
they're not going to stop the tush push. Not this game.
Okay, well.
They should have got a win last game. Not this game.
Okay,
no.
Well, I got the Eagles too.
You know Saquon play for the Eagles now?
Listen to me. I believe in the Eagles.
Okay.
I just don't understand why people think the Falcons are going to be good.
Yeah, let me go on YouTube to see what Lathan said. I know Lathan got something to say.
He does.
Fly Eagles fly. The Eagles looking good out there. He said Bengals receivers are going half-ass out there.
Oh yeah.
This year Bengals are cooked too. He said the Rams have a horrible O-line. Too many injuries on Rams are this year. They cooked too. He said That was the best news we got last Sunday. Dak getting extended 4 more years of the Cowboys. I ain't gonna.
Well, let's say
He didn't say Cowboys. He said Cowgirls getting
Yeah.
nowhere near a Super Bowl, and he loves it.
Now remember, Packett last week, we got him on record saying that Dak was going to get traded at the end of the season. So we got that circled. So depending on how Dak does this season, because remember, even though he got this new contract,
Why would you bring that up and that man got all that money?
because I'm just telling you, even though he got all that money, if they don't go anywhere in the playoffs, you think Dallas is going to stay with him?
That's why Jerry Jones gave that man that money. He gave that a lot of that money guaranteed.
But again, if they don't go far in the playoffs, if they go 1-out in the playoffs again, you don't think Jerry Jones, even with that guaranteed money, is going to find a way to trade him? I don't. It's going to be interesting to see.
He gave that boy that healthy ticket.
Gave him all that money. Listen to me. They can go 12-4. They lose that first game in the playoffs. Yeah, you know how the Cowboy fans are. The Wolves are going to be in full. Oof.
Hey, well, you know what time it is. You hear that sound?
Yes, sir.
We got to talk about what was our
all right, we're going to close out on our man Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
All right,
I'll let you go ahead and kick it off first, Steve. What you got to say about Tyreek?
Well, let's give a little for those who don't know what happened. So before the game on Sunday, Tyreek Hill, let's just call for what it is. He was speeding to the stadium.
They never said he was speeding.
He was speeding. He was pulled over for reckless driving. He was speeding, and so he gets pulled over. The cop comes. Cop. Let's be real. Cop came with an attitude. He kind of was like, his first words
huge attitude.
Yeah. Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt? That was his first words. So already you come in with a hostile attitude. So Tyreek Hill got hostile back with him and was kind of like saying something to the effect of, I don't need to roll my window down, da. And a cop's like, well, you can't tell me, I'm going to tell you what to do and you listen to what I tell you to do. So it was kind of that, that whole ego thing.
He pulled him back from the back from his shoulders and pulled him down.
So
he horse carted
him down. So Tyree rolled the window back up. That pissed the officer up more. So then when he did roll the window down, next thing you know, both of them went in there like a bum rush and pulled him out of the car head first and take him down to the ground. Tyree Hill sitting there saying, I just got knee surgery. I had knee surgery. So blah, blah, blah. And so the officer's like, I don't care about your knee surgery. So the officer's more like, stop crying. So when you hear officers say stop crying, you know that officer is not one to mess with because he's doing too much. He's doing way too much, and he's ready to. When he knows he's on camera, he's on camera seeing that, so he don't care. So Tyreek's lucky he didn't get hurt worse than he did get hurt. He could have really got roughed up on that one. I think the only thing that saved Tyreek was that a couple other players, Calais Campbell. I can't remember who the third player was, happened to be walking by or driving by and they saw the situation and they came over to help address it. So I think
I'm glad they were there because if they weren't
just
there,
himself.
It looked like it was just going to escalate and escalate and percolate and keep moving and it was just it should have been stopped, nipped in the bud. It's supposed to de-escalate a situation.
Well, not in Dade County.
When you pull someone over, when you give someone a ticket, let's not expect them to be in the best of moods.
Right.
But knowing when you get a ticket, 9 times out of 10 you've done something wrong, and you're just showing out. Take it on the head and keep moving on. Your life is worth more than something weird happening at a traffic stop.
I know, and this is one of those two wrongs don't make a right scenarios. Tyreek Hill has come out. He's admitted to the fact he could have handled the situation better. But the bottom line, though, is that Tyreek Hill is not the officer, and the officer is getting paid to do a job. You got to be more
a service,
and understand the situation. You see this guy's a block from the stadium. You know he's a football player. You understand that he's running late to the game. It's Sunday morning, and don't use this time to use your ego into it and play like don't give him a special treatment, but then also don't give him that we're gonna try to rough you up type treatment. So. Bad situation all around. This officer's going to end up getting fired. I mean, he's on administrative duty, but they're going to fire him because it just looks bad on his part.
Well,
and you can
if
see
they
he was the
fire him,
aggressor.
that means he was in the wrong and not the other person.
Well,
Or they're going to try to use they're using him as an scapegoat.
Well, it's not a matter of using him as a scapegoat. The actions, I mean, it's all on videotape. We saw what happened. You had several officers there. He was the aggressor.
This is true.
Now, the other officer could have helped to try to calm him down, but the bottom line is that all the stuff that was happening was focused mainly on this one officer. So the one officer is going to be, if you want to call him a scapegoat, call him a scapegoat, but he's going to go down for this. And it's too high profile, and like I said, among high profile athletes, and so there's no way he's going to get escape scot free.
Yes, sir.
So that's it. We'll leave it at that. Bottom line is, we got to all do better. You know, we got to find a way to all get along and do things in a way that doesn't lead to chaos and anger and frustration and hostility. So
gotta love one another.
So
man, I know the elections got everybody heated up, but we're supposed to all be on the same team. My goodness. And give a shout out to all our Facebook people who tuned into the show. Lathan, Richard, Alan Watson, Nina Tobin, Cherie Thompson, Portia McDowell, Dewan Lewis, Luisto Nuiz. If I'm messing your names up, I apologize.
This man be botching names or worse.
Hasibi Gill and Aaron Smith, thank you guys for tuning in. And all our people on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Lathan Mahilia, B Pope, and the others. I can't see you, but I see that we have a bunch of viewers watching. Please tune in next week at 7. We'll be back with more updates on everything, to update you on everything going on. And we will have some baseball next week.
We're going to do a little baseball. We're going to baseball is one of those you can just wait till the last week of the season. That's when it gets good, because it's going to be time for those wild card battles and see who gets in. So we're going to get a little baseball for you guys next week.
But we once again thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we will see y'all next week.